All right, we are live. Hey, everybody. Adam Moody with Bearded Goat Trail Running. Usually sitting right here is Jenny Wireman, but unfortunately she is out of town, so I'm all by my lonesome for today. So anyways, what we're doing, if you're watching this not live, is every Friday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. We just have a quick hangout, 5 to 30 minutes, whatever we feel like doing and how many people show up and what questions we get. So we just answer questions or talk about trail running. So if you got any questions about gear or trails or locations or trips or anything, you can always put it on the event page, even if you're not attending live. And, we'll try to answer it. If we can, we'll point you in the right direction, or, if we can't, we'll let you know too. So we want to do this too and learn as much as we can. We've been running and trail running for a while, but, the more you talk to people, the more you find out. And so there's also the Trail Running Travelers group on Facebook, which is cool. So if you're interested in finding out places to go, or if you're traveling and want to ask other trail runners, that's a pretty cool resource. Let me see if we've got any questions. Let's see. Refresh page. All right, don't see any questions just yet. Actually, I wonder if the video is working. I think last week we were having issues with the video, so let's see if it's actually going to work. Okay, looks like it's going. So, well, I will talk then about something that's near and dear to me this weekend. Usually Saturdays, Sundays for most people like myself are great days for long runs. So I was all happy to go out this weekend, and we're going out for a trail marathon next weekend. And so, but still this weekend I was thinking, great, maybe, I got some time. I'm going to head out, hit some trails I haven't run in a little while. And then Wednesday we heard a funny sound while we were out actually coming back from a trail run. A little bit of a high-pitched whine, and didn't think much of it. And so we just cruised on home. And then the next day, going out actually to a beer tasting. And it was such a nice day here. It was about 6 p.m. I said, this is nice. Going to drive with the windows down. Beautiful day. And as I get like a half mile down the road, I hear this, what had been a kind of quiet but high-pitched sound was now a really annoying and loud metallic sound that sounds like a brake issue. So sure enough, called the shop the next day and asked to take it in. And they can't get it in until over the weekend, and it's not safe to drive. So here I am for 4 days without a car. And so I was thinking, man, what do people do if you don't have a car, and how do you deal with that? And I started just thinking of it in terms of what the heck am I going to do? So the obvious answer to one is just like, well, run from home. But for where we're at, we're a few miles from any trails. And so I was thinking, okay, this would be a good time to get on the bike and get out and ride around, I think. And then what I think I'm also going to do is look at one of our local running groups and see if they're meeting up somewhere, and then ride my bike over to them, meet up, do a 10-ish mile run, and then hop back on the bike and maybe get some breakfast or just head home. So from there, that got me also thinking about a couple of other things, like, what are some other options available if this was like a long-term thing, or for people who maybe want to do this, but they don't have transportation available. So the other obvious one is carpool. If you've got friends, we do this. This also may work out for me this weekend. If I hear about some other people going out on runs, might tag them and say, hey, you mind swinging by and grabbing me? Also, another great way to do this is to get on mailing lists. So like I mentioned, I'm looking at one of our local running groups and seeing about joining them. And so if you're not, already doing this, this is a great way to do it. Maybe your local running shop has like a calendar, a run calendar, or even better, like an email list, kind of like a listserv, or just a website, to notify people. So if you can start doing that, sometimes you could, get a ride, be nice, give them something. If you don't have a car and you can't reciprocate, maybe, buy them a beer afterwards or something. Let's see. I've got some friends in the city, and they take the train or bus up north along the Hudson River when they want to do some longer runs and really get some elevation. So I haven't had to deal with that myself, but it doesn't sound too bad. They said, they just pack a bag and make sure they bring something like a, milk jug or a large container for water. And then obviously they head out, do the run. And then, if they're doing like a 20-mile mountain training run, they're going to be pretty nasty afterwards. So, for your sake, as well as everybody around you, bring some clean clothes and some deodorant, a towel and something, clean up a little bit. And then that'll obviously make your ride back much more comfortable, and people won't hate sitting next to you. And then I guess the last thing, I was just kind of brainstorming before, was taking time to get to know the local area. So, if you know your neighborhood real well, maybe this isn't a big a deal, but occasionally I just like getting out and, I run a little bit around my home, but I do try to run trails more often. And where I'm at, there's just not a lot of trails near us. So the other thing I was thinking was, hey, maybe I could just, go out, do a run around here, go find, some new routes that I haven't run, or go down a few roads I haven't. You never know what you're going to find. I mean, we found trails this way. So anyways, that's about it. I think there's a lot of options. I'm kind of curious to hear what other people do as far as like city running. So people who get out and want to do some training, and maybe not even big cities, but when you have to travel outside a little bit and you're not using your own car, what do you do? So by all means, leave some comments and let us know, because I'm kind of wondering what the best ways are to do this. And, at some point I'll probably end up living in a larger city and would want to know. So I'm going to check the page real quick and see what we got. Like I was saying earlier, we got the trail running travel group, which is pretty cool. I'll put the link when we post a video. And we're starting to get some new members and start growing, and it's kind of cool. So seeing pictures from like people who go out, and it's a cool place to post pictures and show people some different trails. Like when I was out in Boise, I think that was the last time I posted, was in August, and shared some trails, like some resources, a trail map, and some of the nice views up there. And then too, you can ask, hey, I'm going to Austin or wherever, where are the good trails to go. So that's what we're looking at doing with that, and making that a real resource for people. Let's see. But I think that's about it. I don't see any questions right now. So being that I'm all by myself right now, I think I'm going to wrap it up. And if you got any questions or comments about, kind of self-supported running, and in terms of you don't have your own car, what do you do? What are the great options? By all means, please leave a comment. And if you've got any of your own ideas, we'd love to hear them. And show up next Friday, join us, ask questions. It's always at beardedgoat.com/live-hangout. And if you can't make it live, that's fine. You can just pop your question right on the event page and we'll get to it. So anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next week.